Friendships need appreciation to flourish. Just the same way you keep telling your husband, oh, you're good looking or you've done a good job. Even with your friends, you clap for them. When they do something nice, you clap. Not just telling them all the time, you showed up late.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't pick up my call.
I think that's why most people are assuming, when I asked about the friendship, they are assuming that friendships are only, like they're only there when you're not doing well. Hello and welcome to the Wheat Podcast. My name is Maggie, and through this podcast, I hope that we can delve deeper into issues and have holistic conversations on situations and things that you'd normally ponder about and ask, what is that? Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Wheat Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about something that I recently asked my followers on Instagram what they for sure know is friendship. And in this episode, I am elated is a word, to be joined by a friend. Who better to discuss friendship than a friend of who we've discovered we've been friends for 17 years, and I won't even introduce her. She's very camera shy. But before we go on, let's just introduce my friend. Welcome.
My name is Joan. And it's not been 17 years because I'm just turning 17.
So I carried you as a newborn. Yeah. Who's Joan?
I don't even know how to describe myself. This is so weird for me. I don't know how to describe myself, but there's a lot you'll find out in the show.
Okay. This is someone I hold dearly close to my heart. I met her in high school. We met in high school when I was in Form 1. And I went to audition the choir. Maybe that's my first encounter. That's my first memory, is when I went to audition the school choir and then you were there. I knew about you, but I had never been in a space, and then you were one of the judges. And I'm like, hapa nitaingia kweli, because yeye akona sauti ya malaika. I used to admire your voice.
So when I first saw you, I thought, this chick looks like my mother's relatives. So at auditions, they asked you, where is your mother from? And that's how I thought, oh, we could be relatives.
You asked me?
Yeah.
And we were right.
Yeah, we were right.
In investigating deeper, our mothers come from the same area completely. Yeah. And as we asked our grandmother, she said, I'm your auntie. So, yes.
But I think our grandmothers are cousins. That's why. Yeah. So we actually, you're not of a higher generation.
Please, I'm your auntie. So just to discuss in this episode, we want to discuss friendships. What we think friendships are for sure. These are our own opinions, and I would welcome yours in the comment section. If you agree with something or you hold a different perspective, let me know in the comment section. But it's just an open discussion of friendships. What are friendships, and appreciating what they are. So when I looked at the online definition of friendship, Britannica. Unakumbuka Britannica?
What is that?
According to Britannica, ni kama Merriam-Webster.
Oh, have you noticed I've said what is that? Like the Wheat Podcast.
What is that? Exactly. Just a few icebreakers. What's your favorite memory of this friendship?
My favorite memory of the friendship is one of the saddest parts of my life. When my dad died and you dropped everything for 2 weeks.
By the way.
To just be there. Like you'd go to school.
2 weeks.
Yeah. You'd go to school, come to a place, like you guys make supper, we eat, and then you go home. And then the following morning, same thing until...
Did I even go to court? I didn't go to court the next day. Yeah. Like the same... I was with you that day and the next day.
Yeah. Like...
I only left you mkienda ushago.
And you still came. And you still came. That's my favorite thing about the friendship.
I definitely didn't remember.
Yeah.
And we came to Shags. Oh, that's so sweet of me.
Yeah. When I needed someone most, you were there. Because there's nothing that has been as hard for me as that loss.
I understand. Yeah. For me, my favorite memory, I don't have many.
Gosh.
Like In terms of, I don't have one specific. That's what I wanted to see. I have two when my child was born. I have a memory of you coming to my house, I think 2 months postpartum, mama, like 6 weeks hapo. And then you took him and then you started doing this. And your hands are weak. And you never like carrying children. I felt like, oh, she has warmed up to my baby. But imagine, I don't know. That for me is like one of my favorites. I even remember what my child was wearing.
The thing is, I've come to learn that when someone is your friend, their kid becomes your kid. The love is just spread naturally. Yeah. You don't even, because I do struggle with children.
And you still buy him the most expensive snacks that I can't afford.
I will show you where.
I don't have money.
We will make it.
Okay, I'm saying that after the episode on financial coaching. That's horrible. So at that one, and very most recently, you being there for my grandfather.
Oh.
You just go. So when we are not there to see the doctors, you just go. When I'm not going to visit, you just go. For me, that meant a lot, more than you know.
For me,
and I know you didn't even think about it.
Yeah, it was like my grandfather in hospital. So what do you do? And it's not far from where I live.
Yeah.
You just show up.
But there are many people who live in that area. It's not automatic.
Yeah, I understand.
If I put it like that.
Plus, when it comes to friendship, you meet your friend at their point of need. Mm-hmm. You decide that they're the ones who need you most at that time. Okay. So you're the one who goes to them.
Sasa umeshachukua point yangu moja. This is where we should have cancelled out. So the structure of this episode was that we just say 5 facts that we are sure about, like 5 things for sure I know about friendship. And this is based on our experiences, our individual experiences. So I think I want to start with you. Then we can just discuss those facts. Uh-huh.
The first point that I am sure of is a friendship is like any other relationship. The amount of work you put with your man is the same amount of work you put with your friend. And when I say that is, even when it comes to picking that friend, the way you're like, I want a man who's like this and this, the man needs to treat me like this, the same way you're like, we have to have the same values. It is the exact same thing with friends. Because if it is not, then there'll be a breakdown in the friendship.
Okay. This is why we should have ticked up our points. I totally agree. And I think many people don't think very carefully when they're picking their friends. And then many people misuse this word and call their friends, in quotes, their acquaintances friends, or just people that are in transactional relationships, friendships. And then because you have expectations, they fall apart. And also people don't expect it to be work.
Yeah.
And I think I have grown to understand. And even right now, you always say, I don't think I have time for another friendship because you give yourself to the friendship. Like you put in work.
You put in so much
and you have to be
emotionally.
Yes, you have to be very intentional.
Very, very intentional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. For me, I have a point here. Let me go to them. So I have to cancel now that one. You have to put in time. I strongly believe that your friendships are a reflection of who you are. I don't know. You can agree or disagree. And you eventually become who you are hung out with to some extent. So I draw this from like Proverbs 13. Walk with the wise and you become wise. So I strongly believe they can be a reflection of who you are, or they will impact you to be like who you are hanging around. I don't know which aspect you might agree with that part.
I agree in that. How do I put it? If I look at my group of friends, we are all so different. I think I am the more introverted one of my group of friends. But when it comes to general values, we have the same values. Sometimes I have a lot of gray areas. Like today I did something nice. Let me tell you, I find myself, if you tell me, send me this money on M-Pesa, like when we're going swimming, send me this money on M-Pesa, then you don't need to pay the company. I would definitely think about doing it. But today, I went to go get lunch, and those people like, just pay us cash, and I knew they need cash because they don't want to pay that company. I paid on M-Pesa. You should clap for me.
You've tried.
I know. I made
For me, I'm like, I'm
she's
stuck
so-
on the low.
Me-
Like, is it the right thing to do?
Me,
You
my mind
have-
is like, I have helped someone make extra money today.
You have graded.
I have
Why
a
have
lot
you
of grade.
decided to become, to change?
I don't want to be like you, but it's the right thing to do.
And then I started
like
feeling
having-
guilty because I didn't have those gray areas.
Maybe we meet in the middle. Sometimes
there's
we
no
do the wrong thing, sometimes we do the right thing.
Yes, and you like balancing. Now that I don't have gray areas. Like, let's just do the right thing.
Oh, may I have a lot of
No,
gray areas.
Kuhonga, like.
Oh, kuhonga. You will complain that you won't complain about the money. You'll complain that it's the right thing to do.
It's not
Me, I
the
will
right
complain
thing.
that it's a lot of money, not because it's right or wrong.
Me, I'll just complain that we shouldn't do this. We shouldn't do this. Anyway, I can see that. I think also our friendship has made me more aware. Like you're very aware about people and why they're like that. So you're not so quick to judge. I used to be like so quick to judge. But now I'm like, why did someone do this? It's something I got from our relationship.
But then again, you also told me that makes me a bit, I tend to be, I think about people's problems too much, that it affects my convenience.
Yeah, but I'm not telling you not to think about people's problems. I'm telling you to stop thinking that you can solve them most of the
That's true.
time.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just telling you that they think about why they're acting like that and then be okay with it.
Oh my God.
Like, I know why someone is acting like, do I need to change them? No. I just now understand how they reason and then I'll know how to treat you.
Yeah. That's important.
Okay.
There's a lot of learning to do there.
Mm-hmm. Another point you have?
Not all friendships are created equal. In that, you can have different friends and they can be at different levels. Mm-hmm. It's okay to call someone you just met her. Like I hear you do people in the online space, you like throwing around the word friends. Like, this is my friend. Like, you're throwing it like it's too soon. You can't just meet someone and then you're shooting a video and you're like, ooh, my friend. Friendship is a bit too strong a word to use. It's okay to say this is someone. This is my colleague.
But then
This
what
is
do you
my
say in that moment? They're my friend.
Are
Okay,
they? Are
they?
they?
This is my acquaintance.
Yeah. Imagine it's okay.
Yeah, I think Mama Kit said it was okay to,
It's okay to.
in one video, yeah?
Yeah.
Where it's okay, that it was easier in their time because they call it what it is.
What
this
it
is my
is.
colleague. This is, by the way, we should say colleagues
And,
most of the time.
and even in the same point,
Yeah.
even in your group of friends, it's okay to have different relationships with all of them.
That's that. I absolutely agree.
Yeah, like the conversations I can have with you are not the conversations I can have with another friend. If I want to talk about the naughty stuff, definitely I will
It's
call
me.
you.
Yeah, it's
I
me.
will definitely
Guys, I'm
call you.
naughty.
But if I want to talk about other serious things,
Like,
like if I want to be judgmental with someone, it is definitely not
it's
you.
definitely not me.
Yeah. And it's okay.
Interesting, eh?
Like, I know there are things you wouldn't come to me about, but you come to me about money a lot
Yeah,
and how to handle money.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're wise with money, in my opinion. I think because you are the first person who identified my money issues.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Like, called them as they are. Like, I think you really have a problem here. Other than my husband, who I would not have listened to. So hearing it from you was like, Actually, a number of times you've told me things, and then the same things if my husband says, I will not take them well.
And let me ask you, whenever I called them out, how did you feel?
Ooh, it was a hard blow, but I had to take it in. Recently, you just told me something. Recently you told me, you never show up for yourself. I don't know the context, but you said you need to show up for yourself. Consistency.
Yeah, consistency. That I
Yes.
agree.
Yeah. So if Dan told me that,
You will not talk to him for 5 days.
atakula githeri. But when you told me,
But even me, when I
anytime-
told you, I was expecting you to be angry with me for 2 days.
I've grown. But you see, anytime I'm not showing up for myself, I hear your voice.
You should.
Anytime I'm tempted to not do what I said I'll do, I hear your voice.
I am glad that's the voice you get. I am glad that's the voice you get, because I think in your industry, that is what you need most, consistency.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wouldn't have taken it from anyone else.
Yeah.
Was that your... Oh, yeah, that was
that's
your
my
point.
point, yeah.
Another thing for me is that just like relationships, I feel like friendships need to allow for error, room for error. And that is something you taught me, because the first time you annoyed me, I was ready to block you. I had moved on, and then you inboxed me on Facebook. Ni siku za Facebook.
Yeah.
Hi, I heard you were not happy with this and this. Do you know, niliona tu message from, nikarusha simu guy. Sasa ndio tumekosana vizuri. Woi, she knows. I didn't like confrontations at all. Yani I've grown. So even remember asking Sally, guy, was she annoyed when you told her? Like, she has said sorry, but now is she still mad? Now I'm the one feeling guilty for not confronting it. It was awkward.
For me, that was definitely something I also had to learn, because
You learned it?
my very first friend was a grudge holder. So you do something, she doesn't talk to you for 2 months, and you don't know why she's not
But
talking
that's
to you.
toxic.
So we did that a lot, the two of us, when
You
we
were
were
a grudge
younger.
holder?
Yeah. Even now, it's just I keep telling myself, no, you're not 12. Talk to her. You're not 12. Talk to her. Even now, I keep grudges in my head. Sometimes I see your call, I'm like, but Magia nilifanyia hivi. I don't want to pick this call, but then I have to talk to myself out of it.
I feel like female friendships, we just cut people off, unlike the way we do with men.
Yeah.
I think that's the only comparison I can give, because you will forgive a man so many times, and not, even when you're not married, you'll forgive a man so many times, but your female friend, you hold them to higher standards,
But why?
as if they're not human.
Now, if you're talking to someone who does not have a man, why? Why do you do that? So that I understand.
No, I feel like that's what people do, like subconsciously. I don't know, can you love?
I think it's, you consider that man your family. You know, there's nothing you can do to your family. Family is just, they're people you love, they're people in your life. So once you start viewing your friends as part of
As
your family.
and I think
And-
that's now where I am.
Once you start viewing your friends as family, then it will be easier to, like if you fight with your sister, what would you do? You will not talk to them for a day, and then you're like, mama alisema uende ukanunue maziwa, and that's it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't even have to say sorry. Ama utaambia kam nikubaie cake.
Ama utaleta hiyo cake.
And then you eat the cake, and then utasema lakini ulinikasirisha, and then you move on.
Yeah. That's an interesting perspective, thinking of friends as family. Maybe that's why the friends I have kept them, because I actually think of them like my family.
Yeah.
Because hata ukinikosea sa unaenda.
And then, no, like me, how many friends
Now
do I
for
have?
you,
If I replace
nyanya
you,
zetu wanajuana, mama yangu na mama yako washajuana. Like there's been so much growth, and that's what I love about friendships. I feel like they can grow to sisterhood if people were intentional.
if
People were intentional.
you just, the way you're taught about conflict resolution, and then you go to these things with your men and you talk about them, it's the exact same thing you should do with your friends.
Communication and conflict resolution.
Yeah. My next point is you do not need to agree on everything. That's because you're a grown human being. You were brought up in a different environment from mine. So what you know is what you know. And what I know is what I know. They're not necessarily wrong.
What if they are wrong?
Who's the judge of that?
No. What is wrong and right, Sindio?
Yes. Now, I might say, I don't like doing makeup. Makeup is
that's
not,
different.
I don't like makeup.
That's different.
I can tell you, I prefer your face without makeup. Right?
That's still...
We
okay.
don't agree. You think you look very beautiful in makeup.
That's still
We
okay.
still disagree.
Yeah.
So we don't have to agree on everything.
But there's this aspect that I usually find very hard to grasp. And I think it also stems from I don't have gray areas. So that's a weakness. So let's say we are friends, we are talking. Do you know, if you started, for example, if you started to date a married man, I'll be very uncomfortable to be around you.
So will you dump me because I'm dating a married man?
I will definitely...
Does that change the person I am? The person that you've known for 17 years? Does that change the person I am?
It changes your values. You don't see it that way? I feel like it's a shift in values, and I won't know how to be around you without being judgmental, or you won't be able to share that experience with me. If you wanted to vent or amenifanyia hivi, I won't be in the space to receive it.
And I will say this from a very rational point of view. Not that, I'm not talking about whether dating a married man is right or wrong. I'm just saying that we are Africans. We are not white. So the white man brought the Bible and then told us that you can only marry one wife. But even some people in the Bible had two. But then they told us you can only marry one wife. And then these men are busy with their one wives but sleeping with every other person. Kwanza I've had Nairobi, everyone is sleeping with everyone. Like every married husband has a married woman they're sleeping with. But that's, so what is the point of, and I definitely want to have my own man who's not married, and I am the only one. But what's the point of sleeping with everyone, yet you can have 2 or 3? And you're comfortable, and they all live together in a big homestead.
That is polygamy. That's different from cheating.
And how does polygamy start?
Polygamy.
You think a married man will come to me today and say, I am marrying you and I will marry you tomorrow? How does polygamy start?
I don't know how polygamy starts, but I am of the opinion that if you choose to have a civil or Christian marriage, then you know you're allowed one wife. If you choose a polygamous under the law, then you're allowed many other wives.
So today, if I meet a married man that went through the traditional marriage only, and we decide, I tell you I'm dating this married man and our goal is marriage, will you still judge me? And we don't want to go to church.
Yeah.
We are not even following all those things.
I might actually judge you just a little bit. I won't lie. It will be hard for me to understand it if the man is not open to the wife. About it.
For me, that stings a bit because of the kind of family I come from.
Yeah, I understand. But if the man is open with the wife that they are polygamous, I don't have a problem. That's what I'm saying. But
or
if
secretly
it's
dating,
that he's cheating, you get.
But why do you have to judge me so harshly? And me, I've not made any commitment.
I
just
choice.
Like this man.
I've
just met this man, and I just like this man. So why? I've not
met. Kama bump tu kwa barabara tu unapanda hivi. See, you decide also.
Yes, but nani akona bibi? Do I have a husband? Am I cheating on anyone?
Everyone is making their decision.
Am I cheating on anyone? No, you're not. You're not answering me. Don't answer it from an emotional point of view.
You are enabling.
How? So if it is not me, it will be someone else. He'd rather cheat with a good girl like me.
I'm not mad at the man. I'm mad at my friend. I feel like that decision is not in their best interest.
So if you had a male friend that's sleeping with a married woman, you'd still be equally mad.
I'm not saying I'm cutting off the friendship. I'm saying it would strain the friendship in that I don't know how to behave when you bring up those conversations. If we will be friends, let's never talk about it. But I don't know how to be friends and not be fully in.
And I think it's okay. Like I said, we don't have to agree on everything. It's okay to say we disagree on this. Let's not have that conversation. And that doesn't change how deep our friendship is.
That's true. But now what I'm saying is what we are disagreeing is very fundamental.
To you.
Maybe it's to me.
Yeah. Because a lot of things are fundamental to you and they're not necessarily. We are two totally different human beings.
Yeah. So what your point is that I should?
We don't have to agree. It's okay not to agree as long as there's respect between the two of us. Like you can tell me I am not happy with your lifestyle choices. Yeah, keep it away from me.
Because I'm not very confrontational. I'm not sure whether I should say it. It will make me tread very carefully, because then if I say it, you'll avoid me. If I don't, I'll feel like a certain way. I don't know how to be friends.
I might ask you who made you the judge of life.
I'm not the judge of life.
we will still move on. Like, we'll just avoid that conversation.
Yeah, if we can avoid it and move on. But I feel like it would be very hard to move on because friendship is...
Why are you thinking? Why is it so hard for you? Why are you thinking about who I'm sleeping with? Why is it so fundamental in your life? That is what I'm... Like, if I told you today,
Joan,
I like Wanini. My God, she's so beautiful. I want to sleep with her. You're not there sleeping with the two of us. So why does it bother you so much?
Okay, I'll have to think about why it bothers me.
Yeah.
I'll have to think about why it bothers me.
Imagine you can just block it and it becomes something you don't talk about.
Okay.
I mean,
I think
if
I
we are
should
heading,
learn that.
if that is the one thing that will take me to hell, it will take me to hell and you'll go to heaven, and that's okay. Maybe
I think then what I'm learning is I can learn to compartmentalize that friendship.
Accommodate the things you don't like. They are not you. You imagine we don't have to talk about it.
We are putting it in a box that we will not touch it.
Yes, I don't even have to bring that man around you or Wanini around you.
Yes, but now you see, I'm telling you, I'll struggle because if you're my friend, but Joan, you know me. I want to know who you're dating. I want to know how they are treating you. Like, I don't know how to
if it's a married man, you will see it from the lifestyle. Because they will be rich. They will be very rich. But if you're broke like me, we are not dating and you're married.
So would you date a married man?
I know that's just putting too much into my bag. Like, it's a lot.
After all this, you still agree with me.
I'm just saying that it does not bother me. It won't bother me so much.
It
won't be something that will strain my relationship with you.
Oh,
yeah.
Me, I'm just saying it will make me very uneasy.
It
doesn't mean I'll dump you.
I don't understand why whoever I'm sleeping with will make you uneasy.
Mi hata naweza kusema kwa mamako.
Mama yangu atasema, my mother will tell you, akiamua anataka kwa bibi wa pili ni sawa.
Yeah.
And then she forgets.
I'm too much into my friend's business, maybe. Like how I became friends with Petrine. I told her mom that she's sleeping in class. I went to visiting there and said, but then your daughter sleeps in preps. Yeah, and her mom was like, "These are the kind of friends."
Or even me, my mother, you'd be her favorite daughter. Favorite.
Me nitatry kukufanya uone. Why are you not seeing? Like, let's discuss it. I don't know how to avoid it. That's my problem.
Imagine me now. When it comes to that, if you're the one who's dating a married man, I would be more interested in, is he treating you well? Are you happy? And leave it at that. We don't necessarily have to talk about. It's the same thing. I know you're married to Dan. Are you happy? Is he treating you well? Everything else, I don't know when you have sex and when you don't. So why are you so interested in that? That you're sleeping with a married man? Because
I have to think about it.
Dating is the difference between maybe dating or being with a married man and being friends with a married man is the sleeping with him part. I don't think you have a problem with me having married men as friends. You have a problem with me sleeping with a married man. So how is my sex life so important to you?
Just summarize for me that point.
The point is my bad actions or my choices in life that you don't agree with do not have to affect our friendship. And they do not also decide who you are. Because your point was that you emulate your friend's life.
No. Not emulate, like you become. You mirror you. I feel like your friends mirror you.
I think
they mirror what you stand for.
I think you can emulate the attributes the attributes you admire, not everything. You cannot control your friends. I have a lot of gray areas. But why haven't you dumped me?
See, but I have told you
that I have a lot of gray areas.
Like I'll tell you when I don't agree with something and that's it. If you decide to do it, I'll feel bad, but I'll move on.
And that is what I'm trying to tell you. Even when I'm sleeping with a married man, Joan, I don't agree with this, then move on.
Okay. It's going to be very hard, but I can see why the point is that you. What was the point? You can't. You are not the same.
Yeah, you do not have to agree with everything.
And imagine my next point was going to be you can't change your friends. But somehow my illustration was going to be this, and now I'm wondering whether it ties to this. My illustration was going to be the fact that for I feel like a whole year or two, we used to mark time on one issue of me not picking your calls in the morning. I'm not a morning person.
It's not you not picking my calls in the morning. It's
And
you
it
not
was fast.
returning my calls.
At first it was morning.
I don't understand how you have slept the whole night. What are you doing still tired in the morning?
That's
you should be tired from
whether
4
I sleep
p.m.
12 hours or 8 or 4. Just don't call me in the morning.
I have learned.
Now I feel like you've come to a point of acceptance. Just the way I know past 9. Kama si emergency.
Past
I will not call you.
7:30.
So I feel like there are those things you can't change. But I feel like there are things you can change about your friend.
There are things you can change.
Or not change, but impact.
You see, like that, whether you're a morning person or not, that's something that you're born with. And I didn't realize it until one of my aunties asked me the other day, unaendanga disco? No mwenye by saa 2 ataka chakula ijapigwa.
Ya mama yangu ndio mama
She's almost 50. So her daughter was around and then I called her nikamwambia, "Ai tunapeleka Sandy because she's young. Tunapeleka Sandy out." And then she's like, "Oh ni sawa tu. Bora you respect yourselves."
Bora hiyo inamanishanga usilale na mtu.
So the following day she calls, she's like, "Ai kuliendaje?" Nikamwambia ilikuwa fun. We didn't even go. We slept. But now how do we tell her we didn't go after? Ilikuwa fun. And then she's like, "Sasa wewe mwenye kama chakula ijapikwa by saa 2 ulikuwa unalala unafanya tunakubeba tunakutoa kwa kiti. Unafanya nini disco saa 3 usiku?" That's when I realized these things, it's not at something you learn. They're inborn. That you can't change. Whether you are a morning, it's just you respect each other's boundaries.
At least now you've learned that morning people, we are not morning people and we struggle. By the way, I struggle, like my brain struggles. You've seen me in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm horrible. I'm not warm.
I agree with your point. If you like, because if you like someone, if you love someone, allow them to be themselves, and you will have a beautiful friendship. Don't change them.
Okay.
The issue I had with you was you not returning calls. How do you just see a missed call and then 2 days have passed?
I feel like this is what you used to assume. The phone.
But sinishaikuwa ukifanya hivyo. I've seen you do that.
To who?
So I assume if you've done that to one person, what makes you think? To who? I don't remember. If you've done that to one person, what makes me think you don't do that to me? I am calling you see one call, the next call, and then now I learned you only call twice. You don't call more than that. And then the next one you send a message, I will call you back. 2 months later.
Kids, mommy brain. I even forget the missed call.
Gosh.
No, actually, I'm not even exaggerating. I forget the missed call.
Nowadays.
But nowadays, I'm intentional. I've improved.
I have also learned, instead of catching feelings and keeping quiet, just tell you, I called you.
Yes.
You have not called me back.
Yes.
This is why I was calling you.
I
used to catch feelings. It's like the time issue. I find it very...
Keeping time?
Yeah, I find it is a lot of disrespect for me that we agree we meet at 2. And at 3, you're calling me, "Oh, ndio natoka." Nakuja how?
Me, I'm not like that with you. I think I'm
Ati hapa tu si tutadrive haraka. We'll be there in 10 minutes. Kwani ni nini na wewe?
When I'm meeting you, I try to keep time because I know you'll leave. You won't leave, but you'll feel some certain
It will spoil the mood of that meeting.
Yeah, so I try to keep time.
Even when we were going swimming, I had to go to her place 1 hour before to convince her to leave 30 minutes before that we are there in time, but we'll still leave 15 minutes to the time. And if I don't go, she will show up 30 minutes or 1 hour late. No, that means we are all waiting for one person. Like God dropped you on the planet of the earth for everyone to sit and wait for you. Like no one's time is important, just your time.
No. But you saw how I think. I usually think I still have time. That's the problem.
You can think you still have time when you're seated in your car waiting for time to get there.
Yeah, but
at the venue.
I have things to do.
Like what?
Just things.
Sometimes she has things to do, but she's seated on her phone.
I'm doing the things I need to do.
Or even just scrolling, not necessarily working.
I usually feel like I still have time. Even 15 minutes because I'm a fast driver. Now,
reckless is the word.
Shut up. I taught you how to drive. Okay. I have heard you. Yeah. I think that was my point.
Yeah. Friendships need appreciation to flourish. Just the same way you keep telling your husband, "Oh, you're good looking," or "You've done a good job." even with your friends, you clap for them. When they do something nice, you clap. Not just telling them all the time, you showed up late.
Yeah.
Or you didn't pick up my
I think
call.
that's why most people are assuming, when I asked about the friendship, they are assuming that friendships are only, like they're only there when you're not doing well. But when you do well, they're not there. So maybe it's because we are not so loud on the affirmation.
Yeah, we are not so loud on the affirmation. And then there are friendships that flourish when people, like me, I would rather show up at your place because you're sick and not show up at your place because there's a party. It's your birthday party. For me, those things don't matter to me. I show up because I realize they matter to you, not because they matter to me. But when I realize you're going through something that is important to me, I will show up.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we need to be louder. Like people don't say congratulations as much as they would say with their husbands and take you buy you a gift.
Even you see the way you talk your husband up, like all the time. You're like, oh, you know, my husband, this, my husband. You mention your husband in big rooms. Do the same for your friends.
Me do.
Yeah. Like I have this friend who does this.
Yeah.
Always do that.
Yeah.
Clap for them when there's something, even the smallest of things.
Yeah.
Clap for them. You're like, yeah, you're doing well.
Yeah. I agree.
Oh, like though you like to tell me I'll be a rich woman. I cannot wait to start bragging.
Me, I've always seen you as you're going to make it. You're going to be a rich woman.
I hope it is in the next year.
Yeah. Beneficiary for believing. You see the benefits of affirmations?
10% dividends.
My housing allowance.
Full-time employee. Permanent and pensionable.
Bas. Ni mimi, I first saw it.
You saw it first.
Yeah, I agree. And my next point would be, I believe that there are seasons in friendship, and you guys need to be intentional about going through the seasons together. I feel like most friendships fall off during seasons.
Kwanza mami season.
Hey, many people just admitted that my friends ghosted me when I was pregnant, or my friends ghosted me after the baby came. I usually hold a different opinion. I feel like when someone hasn't become a mom, sometimes they are clueless. So they think they are giving you space because that's what society says. Give her time, nini. And maybe you need them. And I feel like in that moment, sometimes communication is what is lacking.
I agree, but then from the side of the person who's not gotten kids yet, sometimes it's more of we don't understand that we don't understand what you're going through because we would meet somewhere in the middle. So for me, my very first friend to get a child, her firstborn, I didn't show up. I genuinely did not. I thought she had dumped me for her mommy friends. But then now looking back, I did not do much for the relationship either.
And in that season, you probably needed to be the one to reach out. That's my point.
Because that is the exact point I have where you meet your friend at their point of need. Yes. At that time, you will put in more into the friendship. Yeah. It's never equal. Just like when you're married. After if you give 50-50, you'll still be the mother. You're still the primary parent. So you put in 100. More. Yeah, you're putting in more. Yeah. So with the next friend that got a baby, the first 3 months, I would show up at her place randomly.
Even my place, you'd show up
even
randomly.
You.
Yeah.
You
still do.
Now I understand that your kids are small, so sometimes you're not as flexible as I am. And I need to hang out with you. We need to nourish the friendship. So I just show up. Maybe if your friend is okay with it, just show up. Go visit them.
Most of the time, most of these problems are solved by just showing up.
Yeah.
I remember one of the hardest seasons for me to understand in your life was when you lost your dad, and then we went to China. And I didn't understand that season. I used to be your roommate. I'll come, you're in the blanket. I need to talk to someone, but you're not there, so I just Skype with Dan. And I realized it went on for the whole month. The whole month.
But I had lost my dad 2 months before that.
It didn't hit me.
Actually, less than a month.
It actually didn't hit me. It's now in retrospect that I say, Joan was sleeping a lot.
That I wasn't.
And I'm not even sure you were sleeping.
I could barely
cover
sleep
until your head.
I was just thinking, but sir, now this girl wants to talk about what does she want to talk about?
The most I could do in that moment was just being there.
Yeah. Because even up to now, I don't like my Sundays touched. But if you call me
Up
on
to
a Sunday
Up
and
to
tell
now,
me
if there's a month, I take you as you are.
is
Or is October.
I feel like I've healed. Now you can. Last year October I wasn't a downer.
Yes.
Now I'm okay with it. Like
Yeah. I used to just say, okay, if you need me, I'll be there.
now you can show up. My next point is people change. We've known each other 17 years.
Hey, we're not the same people.
We are not the same people. So I would say is be there, even in the changes, and accept them. Now this is why we say just accept your friends as they are, and you don't have to agree with everything. If my season for dating married men comes, that is the change I have gone through.
Why are you bringing this back? This conversation, let's not.
But even you,
It's something to unlearn.
the person
Yeah.
that you are now
Yeah.
is not the person that you are in January.
Of course.
I remember calling you in January and telling you to do financial coaching.
Aye.
And you caught feelings,
Mulini
and
bo na dan.
you did not want to talk to me.
Mulini
But
mo,
now
I felt like you ganged up with my husband.
you put me in that spot.
Yeah.
You told him to call me, and he told me points I agreed with. You put me in that. We would have had this conversation without him, but you put me. The person you are now, we have money conversations very openly without you. Even I remember because we meet every year and we talk about our budgets and how much we are making,
Yes.
and then you would get panic attacks that pesa yako
Inaisha,
inaisha.
you'd break down my budget. Also, you need to pay electricity. You need to pay. I'm like, why are we doing this? I'm getting anxious. You need to stop budgeting this money. But now I'm like, yeah. Just before we go to the next point, I want to give an unpopular opinion that maybe I received from the people, because I asked what they know for sure about friendship, and there was one that said it's okay for friendships to end. Do you agree with that?
Not necessarily, not entirely. It's okay for friendships to end if then it's in a toxic space. If it was just a good kind of friendship. Me, I have friends who've moved abroad. There's nothing wrong. We are not as close, but the friendship hasn't ended. It's a distance thing. The friendships that have ended, there is something that contributed to the friendship ending. And we are not friends anymore.
And you always find need to revisit that thing.
Yes.
What is this? Like, if you guys talk about, okay, I feel like most people actually don't revisit what happened. They just like, okay, fine, it may happen. Let me just move on.
When you
That's why
revisit,
it ends.
when you revisit what happened, like we are all human beings. They must have been going through something. We need to give each other space.
Now you've
This
agreed
is
with
from
me.
you, yeah, because you pushed me to reach out to a friend that I've had, my oldest friend, and I appreciate for that. But I wish I would have reached out earlier. I would have given her more grace.
Yeah.
And she would have given me more grace because we've known each other from primary school, but we don't know each other in adulthood. So we were using the knowledge we know of each other. And if we had given each other grace, we would have realized that it's okay. You're allowed to go through whatever you're going through, and you can always find me.
Okay. Yeah. My next point is that female friendships, especially, as one of the most beautiful relationships someone can have. I feel like people who've experienced like the intimacy, the conversations of just having a real friend, and it's not common, or maybe it's not commonly spoken about, but it's so beautiful that if people got it, they would stop saying friendships are toxic.
Yes. On Sunday, you came to my place. What did you do?
Okay, I just sat there.
We got into bed together and just sat there. How many men do that? They will start calling each other gay.
And then I was having a bad day, and then you asked me, do you want to talk about it? I'm like, no, I'll just cry. Then I started crying. Then we ate chips. And then we forgot. We talk about other things.
Yeah. They're so intimate.
Yeah.
It's if only God created men like women, but with the male, then life would be much easier.
Yeah, because then men don't get to have so many intimate spaces to have conversations or friendships, to even have deep conversations. It's just now that I'm hearing more and more men talking to each other about their things. But because women, in our very nature, we don't know how to die with our own problems. I usually tell you can't die with your problems.
Yeah.
You'll call friend 1, friend 2. Wewe unaonaje? Friend 3, friend 4. And if people just experienced that raw vulnerability in their moments and someone doesn't take it for granted that you have trust, it's so beautiful.
Because men, they don't, if they're going through something and they have female friends, they'll call their female
friends.
The men, they'll just go watch football together and like a sawa Buddha.
In fact, your wife can know you're depressed and your friends would not know as a man.
As now you, for someone who's married, does Dan get that? Do you have such conversations when he's going through something rough?
Yes, because I'll be the first to notice it.
Every man should get married. Why do they all want something casual? They need this kind of friendships.
Yes, because
we don't need to get married because we have it with our friends. Men need the marriage more than we do.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Or else they will kill each other out here.
Or they'll just kill themselves because of the things that they are going through and they have no one to talk to.
But when it comes to marriages, I read that the people who are... Men never want to leave their marriages. Women are okay with leaving when things are not going well.
Oh, why?
And I understand why. Imagine you have...
Because we have other relationships.
Yeah. You will be fine. Who will he go to if not you?
Mi kwanza nitakuwa nimekulilia. Nililie na Petrin. Another one.
Yeah.
Like my circle. My circle is very tight.
Who will he cry to? If not you.
Himself.
Ama he go to ama his mother.
Now I see.
Yeah.
Now that's why they hold on.
He won't leave you.
Yeah.
Relax. He will not leave you. He's there to stay.
I can see why.
Yeah.
I can see why. That's interesting.
Because I think when people say that, we look at other things that other benefits they get in marriage, like maybe someone to think about what they're going to eat. But the biggest one, it's that emotional support that they don't get from their male counterparts.
That's a very valid point.
My next point is, in friendships, not everyone will give the same amount of whatever needs to be given. There are days that I suffer. There are days that you suffer. When I suffer, I give more. When you suffer, you give more. What I like about our friendship is we don't necessarily go out to eat and then decide you pay half, I pay half. That has never happened. It's like, may have 500. Okay, you pay that 500, I'll pay the rest. Or we go home and eat from home.
Or we walk.
Or we
like
just,
what we did this year.
Yeah.
Less eating, more activity.
Yes.
More swimming, walking. Yeah. Cycling.
But since we started growing fat, that has been part of our friendship. Since we started growing fat together.
Wi-Fi.
Since we started growing fat together, that has been part of our friendship.
Yeah, because we were very aware that this thing for just dates, it's not healthy anymore.
We used to be
for
short,
ourselves.
skinny girls.
No,
and
no
then
round.
all of us
No
sudden
round.
we are fupi no round. So we started with the gym.
Yeah.
It
And
didn't
then
work.
No, money.
Oh yeah, it didn't work because of money.
It didn't work
But
because
we
of money.
don't have to tell everyone that we are poor.
We looked at our projection for the year. We're like, do we have this money?
No,
we didn't have. So we were like, how else can we keep each other physically healthy and accountable? You're my accountability partner in health.
And sometimes you get mad at me for that.
Yeah.
Even I think I need to, I'm trying to learn to step back because you're not very consistent. And me, when I start something,
I've changed.
I do it. So sometimes I'm like, I don't understand why you don't want to do it. And we said we'll do it. We can do it another time. Not necessarily the time we want to do it.
One thing I love that this year then we've grown from being codependent.
Yes.
Just because I'm not working out doesn't mean you're not. We used to fall off together.
Yes.
In fact, you were mad that I was pregnant. Because then we stopped going to the gym together.
She got pregnant and then she dumped me in the gym.
Yes, I just disappeared.
And even last year you fell off and left me in the gym. And then I tried for some time and then I fell off. This year...
even if I've fallen off,
I have continued. But mine, if I didn't have health issues, I wouldn't have continued.
That's really bad.
We would have eaten cake together and continue to grow fat.
Now we take one cake and we cut it into 4.
Oh yeah, we used to eat a lot of cake.
So I think that friendships can be healthy if there is no codependency, because I feel like there's the weight that comes with codependency.
And friendships need
space
space
as you're
well.
not going to go somewhere because I didn't go, and now I dump you.
Oh, but me sometimes I need that. Because I'm not very good with people and new people.
That's different, Joan, but I shouldn't stop you from achieving things you've set for yourself. Then you blame me.
I agree.
You get? Yeah, that's what I feel. People, for me, I spot codependence. It annoys me. Like, if you wanted to do it, just do it. Don't peg it on me.
So us guys are codependent when it comes to
Working out.
Yeah, physical activity.
Yeah, at least because of your health.
Oh, now we are not.
I can go
now
for swimming even if you've not gone.
Yeah, because I've not gone for a whole
Because you're
month.
sick. Yeah. Any other points? Yes, you had.
Oh, see, I've said that one. Oh, yeah, and grudges don't help. Another point. Grudges are just, they will just dig into your friendship, and it will just, and coming from a grudge holder,
Not worth it.
not worth it. Let
You'll
it
lose
go.
something beautiful.
And grudges, they hurt the person holding the grudge more. Because you're thinking about, once you decide I'm not talking to this person, you'll think about them every minute of your life. Every minute. You see something you used to do together, it reminds you, then you're even more angry that now why. Just let it go.
Just let it go. But for someone who was good at cutting off people, I think sometimes it's necessary that if a friendship has gotten to a point that it's no longer healthy, just let it go.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes someone could be going through something and it spills over to the friendship and it's not healthy for both of you. I think that's a healthy point to say, for this season, let's part ways.
So how can you be there for a friend who's going through something and it's spilling over to your friendship? Without cutting them off.
Sometimes being there looks like not being there, because I want you to imagine you're in a car. This bowl here has 2 crabs. You're trying to get out, both of you, but you keep pulling you back.
No, you see, that's a struggle I have. I don't know how not to be there.
Sometimes imagine being there is the best. Not being there could be one of the best gifts you give someone, because there are things in life no one will help you to figure out.
And then how do you come out of that? Now that I wasn't there for you when you're going through something major, and now you're not going through it, how do we continue being friends?
We don't necessarily have to continue.
So you've cut me off completely.
I'm saying I've cut you off for that season. Yes.
So after that season is over, how do you come to me?
If it's meant to be, it will be.
I don't understand that.
If it is meant to be, it will be.
Me, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I only have a small circle of friends.
Me too.
I don't understand. Where you can communicate that I'm going through something and it's and I would like some space.
This is after you've tried. I'm not saying you're going through something. You're in a season where you're toxic. You can't be told anything. I've already tried talking to you. It's not working. But every time our friendship is we are just on that issue, laboring on that issue. See, then it's better. I just distance myself.
Give me a real life example where you're in a season where someone is toxic. Your friend is being toxic. Give me a real life story.
I don't know. In my head, it
because
makes sense.
This toxic word, even our mothers were toxic just because they were beating us when we were young. So I don't understand what toxicity is anymore.
I can't give an example.
What would make me toxic to you?
I don't want to say it. We've already discussed it.
Me being toxic to you?
No, like we've already discussed things I need to unlearn. But what would be toxic to me is if you're always a complainer.
You would cut me out because I complain too much?
I would not want to meet you. You will be dragging me down every time.
Oh my God. Now I can't tell you when I'm dating a married man. I can't complain.
You can't complain. Have you never been around
someone
who will complain? You've not been around someone who can complain about everything. Even the traffic. Even like everything. That energy.
Maybe I have. I'm just thinking, we all have bad traits. So even you, there's that one bad trait that people find very annoying. Does that define the person that I am? Because I have a bad trait.
Yes.
One single bad trait.
It could be.
No.
Aki guy, yeah.
No. Ati because I'm a complainer, you forget that niko na roho mzuri. You forget that I was with you and your grandfather.
This season. That's the thing. Your roho mzuri tusaidie in this season. So
you know what you can do?
I can tell you, I think you're going through something and I think space would work.
You know what we can do? We can come up with something to make me a better human being. You say, by the
That is
Joan,
if you are in a
you
space
say,
to listen. You
you
get.
say, Joan, you're going, like, I think you complain too much. So every time you complain, I will note it down, and then this is what you do.
You
help
see,
it.
you're
So you
very-
will reduce the number of complaints over time.
I think-
But if you tell me once you
Uh-huh.
complain too much, you think tomorrow I won't complain because you've mentioned it.
You'll complain
and
about
it's a
me
habit.
complaining. Cindy.
And it's a habit. No.
I think you're able to look at it like that because you're a problem solver.
Yes.
So for me, because I don't like the confrontation, I'd be like, maybe space would work for now. So either I'll communicate that I think we need space, or I just ghost you. Toxic, I know. But if we need space with the friends that I have, for real, I will tell them. I can ghost the friends I have right
The thing
now.
is, all friendships need space. Even me, there are days I just
Yes.
don't want to see anyone. All friendships need space.
That I agree.
So you don't tell.
In fact, I think friendships thrive with space.
Yeah.
With a little bit of, not a little, a lot of space sometimes. But if your friendship is do you know there are people who are very attached? Munaenda, unafanya nini leo? Wacha tuende pamoja. Mtakam.
Sio ni watoto. People in high school.
Yes.
And maybe campus.
Yeah.
Not 30-year-old
one
women.
thing that I attribute, umetuita 30-year-old women.
Oh, 17-year-old women.
But one thing I attribute to the growth of my friendship is space when it's needed. Not that we're discussing and we are saying now we need space. It's just we thrive give your friends room to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Space is even you being able to do what you want to do without telling anyone that this is what I'm doing. Space is taking a whole week. You can, but I think sometimes if you need space because you're going through something, it is better communicated. People will think you have dumped them, and then they're overthinking.
That's something I've learned. I think I tell you when I need space. I need some space. Oh, I've grown.
Me, I've learned to take space even when I'm around people.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that. I'll feel like you're still in my space.
Oh, I will just shut
You
up
shut
and in
down
my
and
head
you just
and
look
on
at
my
people
phone
and think about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I notice it when you're in front of people and you just go. It's like, time out, guys.
I do that around people, but now I'm not around people, and because I work with people, a lot of people, and I get so tired of people. So Sundays to me are just from morning to evening. The only place I go is the kitchen and the loo and the bathroom.
Yeah.
I will not leave the house. I will not talk to anyone, and I live with people.
Yeah.
I'm just in the bedroom.
That's interesting. I still find it interesting and a privilege until the babies come.
See, when they come, they will be in your house on Sunday.
I was on Sunday alone and I could not stay the whole day. I came to your house. Yeah. Just to close up, have you ever had like the worst friendship experience?
Like when I first joined campus, one of my friends got pregnant, and then I would drop everything to go help her take care of her kid. Elaine, my dad would send me money, then I would just help out. And then when she had a rumor that I said something, she didn't ask. She didn't ask. She didn't think.
She believed.
Yeah, she didn't think to find out. And in retrospect, that's the best thing that ever happened to me, because when that friendship broke down, I started doing things for me. I was now not doing things for mothers and their children. I was doing things for me. That's when I started singing again. That's how through me singing, I started going to China. So I flourished. That friendship was not doing anything for me at the time.
You see what I mean by toxic? When it becomes toxic, it's good to break away.
It wasn't toxic.
And sometimes if you take too long, cut
It
yourself
wasn't
off.
toxic. It was not toxic. We were okay. I didn't even feel it was toxic. It's just that she was told I said things and she didn't come to ask. So she got mad. By the time she was ready to come and ask, I was over it. I had moved on.
The worst friendship experience I had was now that you've reminded me. I feel like in a situation where a friend was having issues with their relationship, and that's why I tell you it's very hard for me. I'm very in. She cut me off. I felt like for standing up for her. At that moment, we've since revisited. We know that she was not in a good headspace, and if it was not you to tell me to go and just listen, mimi cutting off. Mimi nilikuwa wale wa kuandika kwa kitabu. So nani amenikosea leo, Joan?
Ukienda binguni upate mtu hapo utasema toa huyu hapa.
Joan did this, Nani did. I was a grudge holder proper. I think this year I've transformed. I feel like this year is the year I've really, really transformed, but it made me be very careful to make friendships. I am not, and that's why I find it very hard if I don't know about your relationship.
Yeah, we are back there.
And that dynamic. I don't know how to be fully in with your friendship if the relationship is secret or no goes on. That's why I start to walk on eggshells. I don't know, by the way. Maybe kuna mtu ata understand venye niko.
Acha nikwambie, to make it easier for you. There are parts of your relationship that are just between you and Dan. Even I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So even
but
part
the
of
fact
that
that there is a relationship and you know about it and you can freely ask how is Dan, for me that's a big thing.
You're not going to ask how my married boyfriend is?
No.
You can ask how is your boyfriend.
He's
and then we
still
leave it
married.
at there.
Still
Okay,
married.
now how is your married boyfriend, and you leave it at that.
Now I think from this conversation I'll go reflect if I can do that.
You don't have to be part of that relationship.
No, if I can even ask, because previously I just keep away because it's an uncomfortable discussion for me to have. I'll start to ask, so why, what is this, why is this happening? I'll start to, you know me, I start to want to understand why you're acting the way you're acting, which sometimes it's not none of my business. Stigmatization.
That is why I'm acting. That is why I'm with him, and he's married.
Okay.
Just that.
And now the kind of person I am, I will point it out, and you will not like me.
Oh, because you've told me.
Yeah,
you called
that's
me
the
out.
Thing. I feel like I don't
you
know how
called
to
me
not,
out on so many things, and
I don't
here
know
we
how
are now.
to not, yeah, we've grown. We've grown. There are people who would not stand maybe my honesty, and maybe that's why we are not friends. Yeah. But another point I think is very important is boundaries. Now in the same space, I feel like there needs to be healthy boundaries in friendships. I don't know if you have any example in that one.
Conflict is very important in friendships or in all relationships.
That is what I have unlearned, that conflict is important,
is very important,
and you can't avoid
because
it.
They also help
grow.
you create boundaries.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes you don't even need to sit and discuss boundaries. You just know, hey, Joan called me, I didn't pick her call, and I didn't call back, and she didn't like it. So next time, I will call her back.
I am very cognizant of that. We've created a boundary. Yes.
Joan doesn't like, you say you don't show up late. You know, Joan is a stickler for time.
Yeah.
You show up.
Yeah, and you know I don't like morning calls.
Yes, so I don't. I text you.
Unless it's an emergency.
I text you. I text you. Sometimes I come to your house in the morning and I like to see Dan and Rwani. Like, you're the one who took me to that house, but I am not excited to see you.
And I'm not excited to see you too. And I might say hi and go back to sleep.
And I will sit there with Dan and we'll talk about money.
Yeah.
And you did not like talking about money then.
Yes, I would stare at you too and be like, why are you guys too serious with life? Like, hii pesa kwanza mnatoa wapi?
Say you are tuna.
We're
talking about our future money.
Me, I look for 1 million. I'm like, where are you guys getting this money? Me, I know this man's finances. And he's telling me, yeah, I'll talk to you next week.
And we didn't talk about it.
And I would shut down, even when I'm there. I just shut down. Yeah.
Boundaries are important.
Boundaries are important. And I feel maybe that's why if you don't have healthy boundaries, itaisha.
Yeah.
Inaisha.
That is now how friendships end.
Yeah.
That is how you cut off friends. Mm-hmm. You don't have boundaries. Or no, you do have boundaries. They're just not respected.
Yeah. What would be a boundary?
For me?
No, I'm thinking generally. Okay, yeah, we've talked about hours. Okay, I've gotten. There are friends who, by the way, don't talk to my husband is a boundary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But boundaries are different for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I know Monday is your time.
Ah, good.
I don't even try.
Okay, I rejected you the other day.
I don't even try. Monday is your time.
I should stop trying with this Sunday thing because I don't even remember.
Oh, Sunday.
Yeah.
I knew Sunday you needed someone. That's why I allowed you.
Okay.
That's the only reason why I allowed you
Okay.
into my space on Sunday. I knew you
Okay.
needed someone.
Okay. I've loved this discussion. It has helped me to reflect about some of the things I held deeply about friendships.
Like married men.
I don't know how I feel, and I think I need to reflect about it.
Why is it so? Why
is it bothering me so much? I think I need to go think about it.
Imagine you can have your values and I can have my values and respect each other's values.
But we need to have similar values to be friends.
Yes, we can
At
have
least the core values.
Now, for me, maybe dating a married man is not a core value. Whether your man is married or not, it's not a core value. But everything else works.
Do you think that is because of your background from a polygamous family?
Imagine, the one thing my mom keeps telling me is, like, well, let hata mtu ako 60, bora si bwana ya mtu. It's something we talk about. It's just that it's none of my business. That's how I see it.
Okay.
It doesn't affect me. Who you're dating is not affecting me. The only way to affect me, the only way to affect me is if he's treating you badly.
Okay.
Because then that will sit there and talk about, oh, he did this, oh, he did that, oh, only that. But if he treats you so, it doesn't affect me. I don't even need to be there with him, by the way.
Okay. I think a growth area, as I finish, for me with friendships has been learning to say sorry.
Really?
Yeah. Mi simangi sorry.
Kubaya
kubaya keki. Takubaya keki.
Ni wanawake wote wajaluo.
Wanawake wajaluo.
Ukimkosea anakuambia uko na njaa.
Uko na njaa. Learning to say sorry, or also learning to what makes it hard for me about the saying sorry is not saying sorry, but the thought that I hurt my friend. It weighs me. And also telling my friends that I didn't like something, that has been a growth area. I didn't like that you said this, or I did. It's something that you have taught me to have uncomfortable discussions in friendships.
Me, what friendship has taught me is I'm not perfect. I was so perfect. Like, neza kosea nani? I mean, and then there was a day, that fateful day, we sat in your kitchen and you told me all the things I have ever done to you. I was like, what the hell?
You cried.
Who is that? And I don't cry. But then I found myself crying. And they were true.
On your way home.
I cried in your kitchen. You watched me cry. Who was that?
And I continued talking. I didn't cry.
Oh, you cried. You cry about everything. Even now, if I just break my nail,
I
you will
don't
cry.
want to see your wound.
You will cry.
Yeah.
It taught me that I am not that perfect. I like to think of people and how to solve their problems. And then that was a vulnerable moment, realizing that I can also hurt people. That I'm not the one who is always being hurt.
Okay. I'm happy I taught you that.
Oh, yeah, and you made me realize that I can be insensitive with my words.
Ooh. We have worked on that.
How I think of
you
them
don't
is
have
not
to say
how
it.
they
come out.
Yes.
Yes, and you don't have to say it. It's funny coming from me. People say I say what I think, but
No.
I think I find a way to soft
Me,
landing.
in my mind, I'm saying it so like
So
it is
well.
so nice.
Yeah.
It is the nicest thing I can say
And
to
I'm
someone.
like, why would she say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate this conversation. Is there any other thing you want to say? No. Thank you for coming to discuss about friendships, and thank you for your friendship. Tell us in the comment section what you think about friendship. Is there a point in this discussion that you agree with? Remember, we're just talking from our experience. We are not experts in this topic, so we would love to also hear the conversation on your end. Like, how do you see friendship? Is there a point we left out that you strongly feel about? Let us know in the comment section. We look forward to having the next discussion of the WIT podcast. Until next time, bye-bye.